Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Wedding Secret. I'm your wedding coach. My name is Simone and I will tell you everything you need to know about weddings. Yeah, today we will talk about stationery. There are many beautiful possibilities and options, and I don't want to talk today about who will design it because I have talked about this already a little bit in the invitation save the date part. I would like to talk to you today about the different parts you might need of stationery on your wedding day. So let's start. If you imagine that your guests are arriving to the venue or to the church, there are actually already two different, let's say, situations. If you have a church wedding, you most probably might need like a small booklet with the whole order of the day, let's say like this, or order of the service. If it's a religious wedding, normally the priests, they always give you some indications about this small booklet, because in these booklets normally you have in quite a lot of information, a little bit how it starts. If you want to have some religious songs what also your guests should sing, then it makes sense that you have, I don't know if you see it here, well afterwards I will show it better, that you have also all the text about the songs in this booklet, because not all of your guests might know these religious songs by heart. Then you have a little bit the whole concept or the whole, let's say, program of the ceremony. Also, who was the priest or who is the priest, if some of your guests are perhaps saying some words in between the ceremony. So yeah, this kind of booklet, normally it's not, of course, binding, there's nothing binding, but it's quite uncommon to do this if you have like a church wedding, a religious wedding. But you also can do it if you want to have only a blessing. If you do just a blessing and it's not a religious wedding, you can also do, of course, like an order of the service. What we do sometimes if it's a blessing is, and I don't have any example here now, but I will show it to you online, that it's like a kind of fan, and it's like already a program. So it's two in one. It's a fan with a small stick, and you actually can use it if it's really hot, but you also have the whole program there. This is also like a nice idea, and as I said, you have two in one. This is like the start. Because you normally start with the ceremony. If you have everything in the same place and you don't have a religious church wedding, you have the welcome drink and the ceremony and the aperitif and then dinner party in the same location, you also could start with a sign, a big sign, where you have the program of the day, just the most important things, with the timings, so your guests know a little bit what is happening. Me personally, I'm a person, if I go somewhere, I always like what I have to expect. But of course, you can think about it. I think it's a nice idea because then your guests know a little bit about an hour and a half of aperitif, when the cake will come and stuff like that. But you don't have to do that, of course. Then, now, when we have talked about the ceremony, a small booklet, yes or not, we're having the aperitif, and it's actually always a good idea also to have like a small bar menu, because sometimes it happens that my couples or the couples in general, they have like thought about a nice signature cocktail, or they have Aperol Spritz, or they have like Hugo or some other cocktails, not only the standard drinks, or also if they are the standard drinks, I think it's nice to have a bar menu where your guests know what is included or what they can order. It will depend a little bit. If it's a catering, then they only bring the stuff what you have pre-ordered. But if it's, for example, a hotel where they have a big bar behind, and you only want to cater or to pay, for example, wine and beer and water, but somebody orders a gin tonic, they have to pay perhaps for themselves. So I think a bar menu is always a good idea for the cocktail already, but also after the dinner for the party, for the open bar. So think about that. And then, of course, the main part for the whole stationery is for the dinner. because most probably you will have a seating plan, a table plan, and this is actually where you have most of the work. I will also talk about the table plan a little bit later, a little bit more into detail. But yeah, for table plan options, there are beautiful, really super creative displays you can have nowadays. It doesn't have to be just one A4 chart, but it can be also quite classic. So the table plan, where you like cluster the guests per table. There are also a lot of different options. As I said, if you have long tables, perhaps you have to split the long table in sections. If you have a lot of guests, my recommendation is always, if you have more than 100 guests, to have an alphabetical order of your guest names, because if not, it's quite difficult to find yourself as a guest on the chart. And yeah, so this would be one part. The next part, of course, is the table numbers, or you can also give the tables names, for example, of all the cities where you have traveled, or your future children names, or whatever. As I said also, I would not make it too complicated if you have more than 100 guests, because then it makes it a little bit more, yeah, let's say, not that ordered, you know. But of course, it's fun. It's fun if you give it the table names. Then, of course, you have to display these names or numbers on the table, so you need some kind of stationery for that. And then you have thought about a menu or a buffet. So, of course, your guests need to, or it would not be nice to know what they will get as a menu, or if it's a buffet, then don't forget to describe the different buffet items. Sometimes this is also something the catering does, but normally the menu cards, it's something what the couple does themselves. And then, last but not least, the names for your guests, the name tags or name cards. I have here like a combination of both. This was a little bit more glamorous. There you have actually the menu cards, and you have also the name tags all on the same card. If you don't want to assign actually a place for your guests, then you also can assign just the guests to a table, and then they will sit wherever they want. This is a little bit less formal part, and it works quite well. The only thing you have to take into consideration if you do it like this is if you have a lot of allergies, or for example, if you have a lot of people, they if they have chosen between fish and meat, then you cannot do that. Then you really have to assign like a name and a place, or let's say a person to a place, because you have to inform the catering before who is eating what. So yes, this is actually I've talked already a little bit about the whole assignment of the guests to the tables. I would like to talk a little bit more about table plans in general, because it's quite, it's a lot of work actually. It depends. If you have 20 guests, it is less work than you have 200 guests. And in general, don't wait too long to make these table assignments. I know that first of all you have to check which table sizes you have, because if you have round tables, there are different sizes you can get. 8, 10, 12 people can fit there. If you have long tables, there are different widths and also different lengths, how many guests can fit per table. Of course, the long table you can put one to each other, next to each other, so you can make longer table or half longer tables. Then you have to check this with the catering, and don't wait too long to do the assignment, because it's quite a lot of work, and sometimes it's a little bit of hustle to put the correct people together. There's always a big question, should we sit together, people that know each other or not? This is a very personal decision, but I personally think that it's nice to have somebody close with whom you get along really well, and you will have fun on the table, because there is also a lot of mingling parts normally at a wedding. So you have the welcome drink, you have then the cocktail and the party. So if you have 2 hours or 2 hours and a half of dinner, I think personally you don't really have to mix up everybody all around. So, but this is a decision you can make yourself. Yes, this was a little bit of information about stationery and table plan. And of course, there's much more to say. But yeah, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. I would be super happy, and I hope you found it interesting. Bye bye.